This is reality TV that works. Startups, made in Kansas City.
The Talent Recruitment Initiative is a program that helps companies within the Kansas City area talk about Kansas City when they're looking to hire a new employee. This initiative works to showcase the lifestyle of Kansas City to potential new hires and interns. It's a way to talk about the livability and the assets here in the region for someone who's looking to relocate to the Kansas City area. Young professionals are looking for a hot spot. They pick a location before they pick a company to work for. We've heard several times that companies do a great job of selling their company and their culture, but it's the talent that they need. And young professionals are going to go where other talented people are, and where they have the opportunity to really grow themselves and their business and their lives personally and professionally quickly. Kansas City is a hub for creativity and innovation. It's a hot spot for young talented people, and it's my job to help showcase that and help companies explain that to potential new employees.
And 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Entrepreneur KC Show. I'm Sarah Davidson with my amazing co-host, Jason Grill.
Sarah, it's lovely to be here today. I'm excited about this next guest. I've been a lifelong Kansas City and grew up here and have seen a lot of the different entrepreneurship stories through my life, and started writing for different publications and really started to go to more entrepreneurial tech events in Kansas City. Came up with the idea to push an entrepreneurial show because nobody was doing it in Kansas City, and met Sarah Davidson, my co-host, and from that point on we just kind of worked it and went to all the different events, and we've had great guests on our show so far. Guys, we have Peter De Silva, the President and Chief Operating Officer of UMB Financial Corporation with us. Peter, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jason and Sarah?
Good.
We're doing great. We really appreciate
Even better now.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time today, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about with you. You're a busy man.
We saw that there was a void in a lot of the media coverage of all the incredible activity and things that are going on in Kansas City. You know, there's a lot of new startups, all the incubators going on, and all the public and private initiatives to support entrepreneurship. And we felt like no one was really getting all of the stories on a weekly basis to really tap inside the heads of, you know, these successful entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and all the people and organizations that help support them as well.
I did it because I didn't think the mainstream media was really covering the scene enough with entrepreneurship in Kansas City. I think there was a void, and there's a lot of great stories to tell, and Sarah and I wanted to be that voice on the Silicon Prairie for entrepreneurs. And we have 3 to 4 guests on every one of our radio shows. We have key influencers, we have startups, we have people that have come from the civic sector. We have great content, and you know, we're having to tell people we don't have enough time. You know, we're an hour show right now, and we hope to expand to a bigger show in the future.
I met Harry S. Campbell, he goes by Harry, at, I don't know, an event, or I think it was the Raise Mobile launch party a few months ago, and I would love for you to tell a little bit about what your story is and your background in business.
This community, yes. I'd be delighted to do that. I came to Kansas City in the spring of 1992, and I'm not leaving, by the way. So I'm closing in on 21 years. I love it here. I came from Procter & Gamble, and I came to work for Sprint, but in the 21 years here, I've had kind of a winding road that's been fascinating and blessed in the same way.
This show is not just focused on technology startups. We're focused on product startups. We're focused on manufacturers. We're focused on entrepreneurship as a whole. And I think that's important because sometimes we only talk about the technology entrepreneurs in this generation. We need to talk about the product manufacturers as well. There's all different types of entrepreneurs, and we try to cover all of them on our show.
I really don't think there could be a better place to be right now as an entrepreneur. To be a part of a city and building this entrepreneurial community from the ground up is really incredible, and I think that all of the, you know, public and private sectors coming together, everyone's pouring in resources, everyone's working together. A year ago, it seemed like a lot of the different entities and groups and even startups weren't talking to each other, and there wasn't a lot of you know, a place for people to gather, and they're booming all over the place right now, and it's just a really exciting time to be here.
I think Kansas City has always been an entrepreneurial city throughout its history. I think right now is our time to really push the envelope on that, and I think There's been a lot of national coverage and media coverage about the Google Fiber initiative, and now is the time really we can't look back 10 years from now and say we should have done this, we should have done that. I think that's why there's more push right now, is because people are really excited about it. And you know, a lot of the mainstream individuals don't even know about this stuff going on. That's kind of what we're trying to bring to the table with the Entrepreneurial KC radio show.
So I wasn't here in Kansas City back then. I've only been here for about 2 years. So what was the entrepreneurial community like when you moved to Kansas City?
Well, Kansas City has a great legacy of entrepreneurs. You know, all the names that I know for great companies that have been started by great individuals, and many of which are still here today.
In addition to the radio show, I run a marketing firm that focuses on technology companies and also early stage startups. And then I most recently started a new company that is focused on scaling technology B2B startups through digital marketing on a revenue share basis. So really passionate about working with startups.
I went to law school, but just always really liked the small businesses in the entrepreneurial world. I also am an entrepreneur. I started a company through this, through doing all these different things myself with a couple other friends of mine, and that's been going well. That company's called SOC 101, and we've been presented at the Kauffman Foundation at 1,000,000 Cups and at Global Entrepreneurship Week, and man, we're really just entrenched right now. I'm entrenched in all these different communities. I think the sky is the limit, and I think the only way we really reach our full potential as a city, as an entrepreneurial city, as a technology city, and create jobs is through collaboration. And it's one of the things that maybe we've been lacking in the past with getting big projects done, but I think now we've seen that more. And I think if we're going to grow and help the economy and help create Kansas City, make it the most entrepreneurial city in the country, that collaboration is key. And that's one of the things the radio show is trying to do, is give people a different element to looking at different entrepreneurs. It's great to read articles, it's great to see people on TV, but when you hear their voice, when you hear their story, that's one of the things that Entrepreneur KC is trying to provide to the public and to the entrepreneurial community. Excited about another great show next week, Sarah. We're going to keep rocking and rolling here on the Entrepreneur KC show. So guys, you need to pay attention to us. Thursdays from 1 to 2, we'll be here every Thursday. Very excited, Sarah. So we appreciate you listening today, and we'll talk to you guys soon, guys, on the Entrepreneur KC show. Have a great day.
A co-production of KCPT and Outpost Worldwide, at home in Kansas City. Production, post, content.